So a day later, that's welded in. I made this piece, cut the rest of that out, so that piece will go in next. And then we'll work our way around the corner, and I ended up cutting all this braze mess out and cut through the actual good panel, so I need to fix that before I run the rest of the way around this corner. So there's a start on that. The tacked end is probably still warm and tacked in a couple spots. I'm not going to be able to get very good arc shots probably. What I like to do, that seems to be working well here, is instead of, they say, you know, skip around so you don't warp the panel. I don't care about this, you don't see it. What seems to work best on this rusty stuff is put a tack, wait, when it stops glowing orange, hit it again and just keep working that way, and then you can almost keep the metal warm and you can just keep hitting it and it'll lay a lot flatter, and you don't have a hard time starting out with your next tack, probably because there's still some gas there too. So I'll see if I can show you some of that. No promises though. Not where you can see it, but it does a pretty good job. I'll just need to grind that down and then fill in any pinholes. Then we'll move on to the whole corner mess right there. So the next day we're almost done. Have this piece to finish. If you look over on this side, it's fairly shallow, and I think I kind of screwed up over here. I keep getting a little bit taller, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slit this piece right along here, cut a little piece out of it, and work this down to try to match the height over here, because it looks like it kind of flattens out to nothing, or that's what we're going to make it do. So let me get the grinder and the cutoff wheel and cut that. Okay, so that's closer to what I want, I think. And I'll weld that up, and then we'll make the last piece. It's kind of hard to film anything down in this hole. This is the piece I created to finish off this section. I had to make it out of several pieces and weld it together. Has some primer on it, primer down in there, and I will get that tacked in there and then cut along it, beat it down to match, and then weld it. And I think we're close to being done. So sometimes you get to the point of diminishing returns. I think think I've done about all I can do over there. There's some pinholes, etc., as there are the rest of the way around. But for what it is, it's good enough. I'm going to break out the seam sealer and I'm going to seam seal all those seams, not glue it together like the previous repair, and then we will work on getting it painted. Seam sealer's in, splash some primer on it. To make it all blend, I have some rubberized undercoating, so we'll see how that turns out. We'll give it a few coats and then bring it back. So I put multiple coats in there, giving it a few minutes between each coat, trying to get some texture to it like the rest of the trunk, but it's got some. So we will let this dry overnight and then throw some paint on it tomorrow, and then we should be close to being done. Still need to go underneath the car and grind some of those welds, etc. Finish that up. So after a night of painting and drying, here's what we have. Doesn't look too bad. The fuel tank covers most of that anyway, so considering we replaced a good portion of that front from a distance, doesn't look too bad. The gloss is probably throwing you off a little bit, but I tried to match what undercoating, I don't know what they call it, but like the factory texture finish that was there. Underneath there are a couple pinholes I had to fill with some seam sealer. So that's ready, and I'll throw some paint on that, and then the fuel tank can go back in and we can see if that fixed our running problems. Over here where this tube goes up to the headlight for the wiring and kind of supports it, there's still some ugliness left on there. I think to fix that correctly, I'll need to remove the front bumper, which will obviously be another video. If anybody's interested in that, let me know in the comments. We can do that, otherwise I'll do it off camera. I don't know how much interest there is in these rough repair videos. Wait, there's more. I have a brisket in my homemade smoker that we've been working on since about 5 o'clock this morning. The internal temperature is 156. It needs to be like 200. The smoke temperature is 225, which apparently is ideal. So let's take a look. That should be good. A couple more hours. What are you eating, Scoots? No, get out of there, dipshit. Where are you eating charcoal? You eating wood? Morons. Ugh. Thanks for watching and subscribing, and we just hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank y'all.